All right, let's proceed to our fifth example. In the previous example, you might be shocked because we apply the present worth in the EMV. Right now, you might also be shocked because we are going to get the IRR in this project. But again, the economic methods can be applied to this. No, all of those previously discussed economic methods can be applied to this, and it would be much better because instead of just considering that everything is certain in the project, here we are considering we recognize the risk for the project. All right, we have two alternatives here. Sorry, actually there is just a one alternative. All right, yeah, there are no two alternatives. Um, okay, the contractor is considering, let's say, to construct this project. And then for this one, there is an initial investment of 30 million pesos. Initial investment, that means in the cash flow, this is our initial cost. And then we have an annual cash flow. Now, the annual cash flow here is, we have three actually: high, the normal, and the low. The life of the alternative, or actually for this one, is 5 years, but the salvage value is zero. It means that there is no salvage value. We need to determine the IRR. And if you remember the IRR, that is just the you equate, right? You equate the annual worth. Actually, the IRR is the I, that is the interest rate in which you equate the benefit and your cost, right? And since there is no salvage value, then it would be easier to calculate. So we have present worth of the cost, the 30 million. So let me just write, is equal to the annual worth of the benefit times the 1 times the formula, the 1 plus I raised to 5 for n. Let me just write the general formula: minus 1 all over I times 1 plus I raised to n. Okay. And the I that we can get there, this is our internal rate of return. And unlike with the previous one that we are calculating the present worth, that's why we consider the initial worth. For this one, we just use the annual cash flow itself. So first is, let's get the expected annual. So that is 0.25 times the 12 million plus the zero point 0.5 times the 8 million. And we add our last, the low, 0.25 times the 3 million. And if you solve this one, this is equal to 7.75 million. 7.75 million. So we have an annual worth, expected annual worth of 7.75 million. And we just equate them. 30 million is equal to 7.75 million. Actually, this can be cancelled. And then we have the 1 plus I raised to 5 minus 1 all over I times 1 plus I raised to 5. All right. And for this one, you may use trial and error. You might use a first I, second I, and then you use interpolation to predict our I, or the IRR. Or you may use your calculators, right? But the best way is to estimate, so you can practice. You estimate, you assume two I's, and then interpolate for the answer. And our IRR for this one, I'll not just show you the everything solution, but our IRR, or I, the interest rate that we can get there, that we can equate this to, is actually equal to 9.2%. Or the IRR is equal to 9.2%. And we have already considered these three, the probability of a low, normal, and high cash flow for this specific project. And now down to our last example, problem 6. We have a flood protection project. Now the initial cost for this one is 100 million pesos. And its expected annual benefit are, okay, we have this three possible scenarios. Life is 20 years and maintenance is 3 million per year, and we have a MAR of 8%, minimum attractive rate of return of 8%. All right. Again, similar with the previous one, we can have a similar approach for this one. But the best that I can see is just to follow what is being asked there. Sometimes what is being asked there is already the sequence of what we are going to do. Now, in the previous problems, we calculated for the present worth and then the IRR. We applied the EMV to get the IRR and the present worth. Now, for this one, we are going to apply EMV to get our benefit cost ratio. So, let's apply our EMV first. Let's get the A, the expected annual benefit. So, the expected annual benefit is, that is just the zero point 0.3 times the 25 million plus the normal zero point 0.5 times the 18 million plus the low that is zero point 0.2 times the 8 million pesos. And our expected annual benefit is equal to 18.1 million pesos. Take note that this is annual benefit. Now, if we look at the problem, we can see that there is a maintenance cost of 3 million per year, right? So our this is, if this is our expected benefit, annual benefits, our expected net annual benefit, this is the net. We just subtract our annual maintenance cost, that is 3 million pesos. Therefore, our expected net annual benefit is equal to 15.1 million pesos. All right. So we need to be careful with this one. When if you're asked to find only the expected annual benefit, then that would be the 18.1 million pesos. But we are asked to find the expected net annual benefit, and that's why we subtract the expected annual benefit of 18.1 million with the 3 million pesos. All right, next is our net present worth of benefits. So we just convert the present worth of the benefits, right? The present worth of the benefits. Since we have an annual, we are going to use, right, this formula P is equal to A as the 1 plus I raised to N minus 1 all over the I times 1 plus I raised to N. All right. So our present worth of benefits, since we have already our ENAB or the expected net annual, we have the 15.1 million pesos times 1 plus the MAR of 0.08, and our N is 20 years. You have 20 years minus 1 all over 0.08 times 1 plus 0.08 raised to 20. Alright. So our present worth benefit, that is, we have the 15.1 million and times the factor minus 1 over 0.08 raised to 20. Alright. Our present worth is equal to 148.254 million pesos. And now our benefit cost ratio. Next is the benefit cost ratio. That is just the present worth of the benefit over the present worth of the cost. So we have our present worth benefit, that is 148.254 million over, we have an initial cost of 100 million. And therefore, our benefit cost ratio is equal to 1.48254. And since this is greater than 1, it means that You're going to accept the project. And that ends our practice problem. And with that, you have your group assignment. You're going to research a real or hypothetical civil engineering project where the outcomes vary because of uncertain conditions. And you're going to prepare a report for this one. So what should be expected in the report? There should be a description of the project. What project is that? Is that a flood control, a road project, a bridge, a building, or whatsoever? And then you give three possible outcomes. Um, you have the risk, right? Let's say possible conditions. You have your uncertain conditions, and then what would be the possible outcomes for that? Just follow the previous examples. We have our favorable or the high, and then the normal or moderate, and then the low or the poor. And for each of those outcomes, you provide estimated probability for each outcome. All right, you're going to assign like point 0.2, point 0.5, point 0.3, whatsoever, and the estimated monetary value for each outcome should also be given. Afterwards, you compute the expected monetary value of uh, of that of that civil engineering project, and then you also include an alternative comparison. So you will have two projects, right? You compare and then you compare those two projects. And afterwards you recommend based on your analysis. All right. And right now for the next meeting before we end the discussion, we're going to discuss the discounted decision tree analysis. And here we'll be able to represent the sequential engineering decisions graphically using decision trees. We are going to use decision trees to have our decisions. And then we will also incorporate the time value of money into uncertain future cash flows and analyze multi-stage decisions. And that lesson will bridge probability-based analysis with the life cycle perspective already developed throughout the course. And that will be the last discussion. And then we will integrate that into our study. And that ends our discussion for the decisions recognizing risk.